Hello everyone, Bart Barker with Wilson County Schools. Let's get you updated this evening on any new news involving our district. Now we begin with this afternoon's special called board meeting. Now the meeting was limited to public viewing just through live stream. That's for the sake of health and wellness for everyone involved, just following those guidelines. So certainly that was new for this evening for sure. Now this meeting did have a limited agenda and was specifically geared towards tornado recovery efforts and where we are with that in terms of damage to West Wilson and Stoner Creek, the buildings, the properties, the equipment, everything. Now this meeting was to seek board approval for the engagement of professionals and contractors to work through repairs and replacement of those facilities as needed in moving forward. Here's Director of Schools, Dr. Donna Wright. Just kind of give a recap of what happened in these three motions tonight.
Well, and tonight, again, the reason it's called a special call meeting, there's an urgency as far as trying to get as far as not only approval, but to be able to move forward with some actions that otherwise we would, have to wait until a regularly scheduled board meeting. But in it, essentially, as far as giving approval to move forward with NFA, which has a pretty substantial track record as far as working with school districts around the country that have really suffered something catastrophic in the fire, weather related, anything that's a catastrophic event. And these, really, it might seem a little clearer when you understand that school districts are not equipped to more or less navigate through an area when you're dealing with insurance companies and you're dealing with
Very complex,
and it's an emergency situation. The second piece was engaging our design team that we have worked for many years with, Cots Binkley, Morris and Associates, and because they have already generated much of the work, the prototypes for buildings. That's not something that would have to go out and wait for another design.
That piece is in place.
So that second, and then the third piece, as far as looking at how encompassing the project itself, so that we, not only the facilities, ancillary facilities, anything that would be sort of tangential to what we are having to work through with the loss of two school buildings would be included, so we could move forward. But with all that still being make sure that, as you heard tonight, that we would bring it back before the board, so they would have updates and knowing where we were at any given time.
Also, Thursday was a very busy day for state lawmakers in Nashville as House Bill number 2818 and Senate Bill 2672, it moved very quickly and provided much in-school relief for teachers and students through the tornado devastation and the current coronavirus concerns that are sweeping not only through our county, throughout the state, throughout the entire nation. Now, there's a list of items that were amended to immediately take effect for this school year, with a recap of some of the main points and how that directly affects our district. Once again, here's Dr. Wright.
We have really seen more than really any other district right now. We've lost two schools, so we've been out of school since March the 3rd. We are on our 14th day today, which even if you take spring break out, that's still a substantial time. So really to sort of capture what took place was to have relief in as far as looking at 10 ready exams, because essentially if nothing had occurred, we would have been moving and looking at moving into the 1st of April into 3 weeks, and it's a large window, but we would have been testing our students, and that was something that needed to be exempted this year. Simply because of what we are experiencing right now with the pandemic. That would not have been a good situation to bring not only students, but our staff, our teachers, because you see teacher evaluations that are tied also in a small way to student exams. The other thing that also took place was waiving as far as that 180-day instructional rule that really guides and gives direction to any school district in this state, and not knowing really right now, we go through the 31st according to the governor and his directive. What's beyond that? Because if we listen to what's happening across the nation, we might not have even seen the peak yet.
Right.
And so it gave sort of relief. It gave more of a sort of a comfort to know that regardless what happens when we go back to school, we do not have the specter of not only state exams, but trying to make up days because many of us have already exhausted our stockpile days. Some districts didn't even have stockpile days. So again, to capture the significance being that even in this time of emergency and so much is unknown, one thing that we can count on that there will not be state testing. And we will not have to look at trying to extend the school year into the summer because of the release there. And also for our teachers, as far as once we get back in again, is providing instruction and comfort to our students that have been out at this point.
So a lot is going on, but we'll continue to give you the information that you need as we all continue to move forward. More updates in the week to come, but for now, hopefully you can enjoy your weekend. Be kind to others, and certainly be kind to yourself, and follow those health guidelines that are recommended to make sure that you stay well and others stay well also. I'm Bart Barker for Wilson County Schools.